Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael Mshelelo. I'm the young Namibian who gave birth to the new political party that we're busy forming. Now, the birth of this party came as a result of frustration as a young Namibian. Now, quickly have a look at my surroundings. Just quickly show the people my surroundings. This is where I live. So as you can see, I don't live so big. I pretty much live in an upstairs house, this per se, as you can see that. Now, if I'm frustrated, who lives in a place or a setting of this nature, what about my fellow citizens who are living in far much more worse of conditions? How do they feel on a day-to-day basis? Given the fact that they don't have access to electricity, they don't have access to clean water, they don't have access to sanitation, they don't have access to good roads, they don't have access to a whole lot of things. Now, how do you think it frustrates ordinary Namibians like that? If I'm living in a comfortable situation like this and I become frustrated, what about those Namibians who are far much more worse off? So as a result, I decided to form about a new political party. Now, I've asked from the public suggestions of names, and I'm truly grateful for the suggestions that came through. We had a vote, and this name was decided anonymously by the people who obviously are the first people to join the party. And the name of the party is POWER. POWER simply stands for People Organized Working Together for Economic Rebirth. That's what POWER stands for. I'm going to repeat that again. People Organized Working for Economic Rebirth. So we have attained independence a long time ago. That's why I'm able to make these videos. The democracy is already there. Freedom of speech is already there. But freedom of speech means focal if I don't have anything in my stomach. This is the time where we start fighting for economy. How is it possible that our land still continues being sold off to foreigners, but we still continue in this day and era to evict people off land? How many evictions do not happen just here in Windhoek alone? I was shocked the other day to read the papers, the city of Windhoek with its officials, which is their dogs, the city police, ready to evict a lady who just gave birth. Like, to what level do we stop and say, this is human, this is a fellow human being? Now, whether the laws say it's right or not, where do we stop and say, where do our morals kick in? Where do we notice that, okay, yes, the law says this, but you cannot kick out a human being that just gave birth to another human being? Like, what sort of humans are you? What does it say about humanity? So you mean to tell me that there is no way we can adjust or amend laws to cater for certain situations? Now, where is that lady to go? Now, let's assume then that kid grows up and it grows up under those conditions. Don't you think that kid is going to grow up hating the government for having done what they did to their mother and to him when he was a small child? Now, it's that hatred that we should prevent now, because if we don't prevent that now, trust me, a few years from now, it's no longer going to be peaceful dialogues. People are no longer going to start talking. People are just going to start doing what needs to be done so that they can put bread and butter on their tables. For as long as we continue to push aside economic bread and butter issues and only focus on politics of the stomach, where you tell me Vision 20 what and Vision 20 what. Those are politics of the dummy. Now, the other day someone asked me a good question. What's the difference between a politician and a businessman? Now, I'm going to tell you what's the difference between a politician and a businessman. A politician is theoretical. What does that mean? A politician will tell you, I'll bring you water. Then you'll keep asking, where's the water? They'll keep telling you, no, we need to amend what. A business person, they're practical. When you ask for water, you will already see the tap there. That's the difference between a business person and a politician. A politician only talks through the mouth. Business people, we are practical people. That simply means we get things done. While the politicians, all they can do is they just talk. That's why they're called politicians. It's for politics. Now, we don't just need politics, guys. Politics are long gone. We need tangible things. Economy, that's what we need right now. So this party is the party for every single Namibian who is tired of seeing our country being sold off. This party is the party for people who are tired of being promised change and not seeing any change. Now, the funny thing is, I see the elders have already started panicking. I see newspaper reports are saying apparently they are now welcoming young people back, blah, 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 this. But these are the same people who went and amend and changed their constitution just so that young people cannot run for president. So what does that tell you? These people will preach, we are the future, nonsense this, we are the future leaders, this, we are the future this. But when we say, okay, comrades, until when am I future? Where is this future that we're always talking about? We want it now. We don't want it 20 what, we want it now. So young Namibians, as well as old Namibians, all Namibians who are tired, who are fed up of the current system, we are imploring you to join us so that we can show these people that we are much more powerful than they are. They are not powerful at all. We cannot be defeated by a handful of most probably 100 people. That's how many they are. Because if we count them in cabinet, they are just about 100 with their ministers put together. You cannot tell us that those people will vote for themselves and they'll win the election. Unless they rig the election. There is no way they can win the election. So next year, we're replacing them all. Starting from the councillors who are working with them, starting with the governors that are being appointed. Because remember, the governor is now appointed by the president. Why is the governor being appointed by the president? It's because the president wants the governors to be their pit bulls. They don't want people to have their minds of their own. That's why governors are also, they changed the constitution so that governors cannot be voted, so that they can appoint governors, so that they can control regions indirectly. You see the extent that these people go to change things for their benefit. They can change the constitution to have vice president, to have deputy what, deputy what, but they can't change the constitution to allow you to have access to land. They can't change the constitution to allow you to have access to capital. Capital is money. If you don't have access to capital, that means you cannot buy plots, that means you cannot buy land, that means we cannot build houses, that means we cannot build the economy. Those things they cannot change. But other things, they simply change because it benefits themselves. So the time is now for us to act. The time is now for us to do something. Long enough we have talked as young people. Long enough we have created WhatsApp groups and just hyped up things on Twitter and what. The time is now for us to show these people that we are much more powerful than they actually think. They fooled us for far too long, but no more will they continue to fool us. Thank you. I'll be sharing the WhatsApp links. I'll be sharing all the information that's necessary. So power to the people.
Power.
Done.